Me mama Jo etiefo ne ahwefo. Hour of inspiration so na mobe. And nesu bio ye ba behia ha. First of all, ye be da nyame ase. Ni asa da so fuma me ase. Say wama ya kwenye for giving us the opportunity, especially me, the opportunity to be back here and to sit with this lovely, beautiful people. We're sorry we're late. So please, we do apologize. We had a bit of a technical situation that meant that we had to put 2 and 2 together. So we're back, okay? Better late than never. That's what they say, isn't it? Right, so we're back again with these gorgeous, lovely, exciting, what else? Energetic, because mihuns and I say you look toned and see I feel that you are energetic. Energetic men and women of God. Yababe shia yababe kasa as we do. Debi asenya mekano. This is home. Nyame fie ye fie. Okay, so when you're here, nobody's gonna say what you use. Nobody's gonna use what you say against you. Okay, so be honest, be authentically who you are. All right. So before I say everything else, should we start introducing ourselves? I am Mrs. Obeng.
Yeah, Isaac.
All right.
Eric.
Ohima.
Medicine.
I'm Beatrice.
Right. You are all welcome. Okay. Debbie and I'd like for us to set little rules. It's not rules but some little situation so we know what we're working with. So we're going to talk about how to look attractive and then to also restrain, but we can look at it as remaining chaste, okay, or being celibate, you know, because sometimes when you look attractive as a Christian, a man for say you are calling them, depending on what attractiveness means. So we're going to digest and dive into that. So should we look at what age should we talk about? What age should we consider? What was saying? Ages between, saying the same?
16 plus.
16 plus to, do we have an end or
No.
we shouldn't? Okay. 16 plus. Anywho, okay, so we're going to start 16 and then we're going. Mihu Mache, what's been going on with you? Well, Ike, I haven't met you before.
Yeah.
So how are you?
Oh, I'm fine, thanks. Yeah.
Good.
I'm very grateful to be in this program.
As you should.
Yeah, because I've been following you guys from home and you have been a blessing to me. So.
Oh, that's kind. And you, Eric? What to say?
I've been following you guys as well. I'm from COP.
All right.
Yeah, so I've been following you guys.
Your face looks familiar, actually.
I usually come to Resurrection because I have friends here. So
right.
Yeah, sometimes I just come and then just to visit. But yeah.
My friends are not my friends.
Oh no! I know. Mama.
I just need to be clear.
I know the instrumentalists.
All right.
Most of them, so yeah.
Okay.
Oh no.
All right.
She's family.
Don't put him in an uncomfortable position. Let him feel welcome. Okay. Ohima, what is saying? You share what's been going on?
Yeah, I've just been, coming to church.
Right. Praising God.
Hallelujah.
Right. Okay. Mon kasaka se ni enti money. Na mo ye start here no mano din. We all heard you. Medicine, what's been going on?
Same old same, work. Keeping the family tight. Nothing much. Yeah.
Good. What's where? B.
I've just been getting my head down and working and stuff.
Oh, everyone's like, oh, I've been putting my head down and working. I don't know. I've been really anxious. But I want God to speak to me about it.
Wow. Why is that?
Yeah, I want to change, but I'm such a creature of habit. So me change is my problem, but I know it's going to be a good change. Amen. And I'm saying to God, speak to me. Is this the time? I haven't had any. God is being silent on me. I don't know what that means. So minimal because I'm looking at clues, what people are gonna say. Hopefully, is God telling me, Gifty, go. Yeah. Okay. Right. So my Baba say, oh, ahead about the work. Anyhow, so we're talking about being attractive as young people. And we know, say, being attractive, or beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. So I would like us to look at it from a spiritual point of view. What does being attractive mean to you, Ike? We'll start with you.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity. Being attractive, so is something that bring you closer to someone, or you want to explore more about the person.
Right.
So when you're talking about spiritually, I believe that it's all about maturity, the way the person behave, the way the person speaks, the way the person, go about his or her life, and that can be attractive, because sometimes you can see that when you come in Christ, then you become a new creature. So the whole habit, is gone. Then the new habit now are coming out.
Yeah.
And some people can see and say, oh, this man has changed, or this woman has changed. The way before he used to speak, or before he had anger issues, that now he's a bit tamed down. Ooh. And he's able to speak well. So those kind of things, those fruits, that come out from they find now he's patient, now he's kind,
right.
Now he's loving.
Right.
Those things, make someone attractive as well, and let's say reliable.
Oh, I love that. Right. Ohima.
Right. So when we talk
Spiritually,
about attractiveness spiritually, I would definitely say how we present ourselves as children of God in the presence of God, and
right.
even outside, because we can't be living a double life where, when we are outside, we dress a certain way or we act a certain way, and then when we come into the house of God, then, we are doing a whole other thing. So, the way we see ourselves through the eyes of God everywhere we go, that's how I would say attractiveness.
Med, also.
When we talk about it spiritually, I think there's something about Christ that attracted so many people to follow him. That bit of it is a landmark. It's something that I think everyone that calls themselves Christian is attracted to something. Either there was something Christ was doing, even the name Christian, the Christ-like people, came as a result of what attracted people to give that name. It was certain things. So like poles always do attract spiritually, what your spirit seeks always attracts you to certain things, and it's the inner desire of a person on what you want to become and what you want to do.
Thank you, sir. B.
Yeah, I'd say when you say being attractive, it's something that draws people to you. When you're talking about spiritually, I'd say it's your aura, because whatever is inside of you ultimately comes out. So it's your aura and your energy that you give out. People would basically either be repelled by it or be attracted to you.
Thank you. Eric.
I would say I'll go as Beatrice was saying. I will talk about it. It's basically your lifestyle. So how you act, how you are outside church and in church as well. So how can you attract people, the people that are outside or in the world? How you attract them to come close to God or to come to church? So that's my point of view when you talk about spiritually attractive.
Okay. So in that case, then, would you say, sir, we as Christians, we should maximize our looks? So we were all fearfully and wonderfully made, isn't it? Correct. And I'm sure it says the way the Bible said it, then God must be good looking.
Oh, now,
God, honestly, I'm going to stay in the eyes of God. But what I'm saying is, should we then, as Christian young people, should we maximize what products are? To say wigs, earrings, dreadlocks, whatever you call it, makeup. Do you think, sir, we should be using those things to enhance the way we look?
Sorry,
do it. Yeah.
Right, okay. So in the Bible, personally, it does say, so I'd say, yes, we do have the opportunity to, come close to everything that, this world brings. However, we need to know our limits. We need to have boundaries, because there are some things that if you call yourself a child of God, you just
give examples for the benefit of the people that are at home. Yeah,
Ooh.
say it. You're in the
don't
house of
know.
God, girl. Say it.
I don't.
You.
Okay,
you
maybe
know
I'll
it.
say skimpy clothes.
Right.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
one.
Where skimpy means?
Like clothes that too revealing, maybe
Okay.
too short. You know, we've all been there. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, you know,
It's for the people at home,
Yeah,
yeah.
I used to, you know, wear things like outside church just because I know, you know, I want to look good. I'm going out with my girls.
Right.
But you get to a certain age, and you know that you need to tone it down. Like, you
Right.
need to, because there is a beauty in dressing modestly, and I love that. So yeah.
Good. Nabi, so like you wanted to say something?
Yeah, that was the point that immediately came into my head. Said,
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, you can use all of those things, but at the end of the day, no, if it takes the attention from God and it brings it all to you, that's when it's bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you know, yes, wig, then at then I'll power to me, but at the end of the day, no, obi who know who said we are Christian, and I just doesn't get that energy from you. It doesn't. It takes away from God. Then I think it's definitely not good. That's when you should reconsider and think about, you know, what am I doing right here and what am I doing wrong.
Okay, mema no swear. Mo cry the day na ya moye. Mo ma bodwe sada na mo jija. Say ye nim say. And no sa na nyame se si a mema na nya na because me kunu nya bi so se sa na nyame se mema na nya. Se me ne ko kasa.
Old Testament, no.
Beard has always been there.
The beard has always been
It's
there.
been
So
there
not something
since
new.
time immemorial.
Alright.
If you look at the Jewish
Na mo se
culture,
de
still there.
Na mo se ba na e ya mo se se bra yi de ye she.
Maybe my choice I'm buying to know.
Never mind, God is still working. What do you feel as a man, maximize your attractiveness? And do you think that is it something you should be doing, or there are things you shouldn't be doing?
I think, as your sister has been saying it, you want you know how but any na said the and one thing is when we talk about enhancement, and that's where it comes into it. You see, God created man in his own image.
Yes, right.
And I will take it from the man point and I'll bring it down to my man point.
Right.
On one image, or be a 5'3" or 5'6", or no for your kakran, excuse my French, but and I be our tongue be kakrebi.
Right.
That is the image of God he wanted to portray. Then this is the person that has enhanced it. Okache nyankopon say, I didn't know want to tell it any bianca. No one bomb it to say. This is the point we're coming from, and that's the definition of attractiveness of this late has come down to enhancement.
Yeah, right.
Body,
We'll get to that,
body enhancement.
Yeah.
And the and young boys so well, lately it's different from body fitness to bodybuilding.
Right.
To keep fit doesn't necessarily mean say
Also, pam
pam pam. No, that is not to look fit. You will be on or that physique, you know, but on your fit.
Yeah.
But to me, Obeng, can you also say or you're so interested in that, and sometimes that comes from body shaming, either from the same
exactly.
I'll get to your point now, Debano, and why people are then going into that.
Right.
And me the Obama my main fan said the Beatrice I can never Obama the to say one packy.
The one pack, yeah.
Maybe I mean a senior engineer and I'm no be fubi. And then because
right.
Sure. And then this pushes out of the zone. Instead of looking for fitness, we then look for physique.
Right.
How to look fine, how to look summer body,
And then it's like it becomes like body dysmorphia. So it just becomes a thing where like they're not going to the gym to keep fit. They're not going to the gym to, you know,
to be
work on
healthy.
themselves. It's just for the people.
Yeah.
So that's when it's like people have become your idol. And
Right.
God says in their commandments that have no other God
Yeah.
except for me. So
No, I must say that, you know, in nowadays tattoos, piercing and all that stuff. You know, men are very much into it. The beard thing is for myself. I started a long time ago. Is because when I shaved, I had brushes. So I started
Sana mema no moji o mabo
most of the
diseni
time.
nyina.
I don't say that.
That was the main thing. And honestly, as you can see, I don't have much here. So
You better keep the one.
don't have here, so and keep it well. You have to look after it, isn't it? So no, I must say that, you know, obviously society is portraying, as our brother Medicine said, a guy that has to be 6 foot, you know, dark and handsome, big, you know, big guns. So when the woman sees feel protection, you know, because women likes that. Most of them like the big guy because they feel the protection, the guy can protect you and all that stuff. So when they see, let's say for example, someone that is not tall, then they start saying, no, you know, this is not for me. Because this is not for me. So I think that society has brought an image of a man that is not always there, and other men that are good and are lovely are struggling because of society.
Med, are you struggling?
Oh, I've never struggled. Because I have not allowed people to define my attractiveness. I want to look good in myself. When I step out of there, I think I have no competition.
Right. And you don't.
Big,
Absolutely, you don't.
So far as I've got my swag well and the vibes are created.
Walking in Christ. Godfidence is called.
What did that be by the church about? It's that level that you have to get for yourself.
Eric, the Church of Pentecost was the Arsenal.
I don't want to go into
So, we're just joking, okay? We're just being friendly. Pentecost for we're family, okay?
Yeah, I would say that, as my brother was saying, nowadays, like the way I would say that this generation, they want a guy, or let's say a man that, you know, has money. So that's what they attract to. So nowadays, a lot of men, a lot of young adults, they just rush into life. They're just rushing because they want to get, you know, money quickly. They want to get the nice car, and they don't think about what's next. They don't think about the future. They just think about the day, just to get the girl, just to get the next thing on, and then, you know. So I think that's something that we need to look at as well.
Okay, so reading around this, you know, I also found something about being emotionally attractive, you know, and I think that a lot of us, we're not, I don't want to say we're not emotionally intelligent, but we're not able to regulate our emotions. And you know, what does that mean to you? Let's start with you, Eric. When we say someone is emotionally attractive, what does it mean to you, and what do you want in someone that you would say, oh, this person is so emotionally attractive, you know?
I would say probably the way they present themselves, or the way they talk, or so I think that leads to I would say, we're saying something before I forgot, but is about what the person also be talking about, knowledge, or maybe how educated is someone.
Right.
So that can be the emotional attraction that people have, because if you see someone and you know that the person is really educated, they know what they're saying, they know what they're doing, that could be very, very attractive emotionally. It could be very, very attractive.
That's maybe to you, but I wouldn't say education, because you are
so right.
So it's about common sense. Common sense. It just the way I be one way, I semi free when you can either a bit permanent person, I said in papa.
Ohima also.
I definitely add on to what Beatrice was saying in regards to that. I'd say when you are emotionally available to other people, you are able to connect with them on a level, whether they are your friend, your spouse, your partner, your whoever it may be, if you are emotionally available, you're able to understand their point of view a lot quicker.
Right.
You know, they don't have to explain themselves, and you'd be like, I understand you. You know, and you feel compassionate towards them. So, yeah, that's what I'd add on to what she was
Medicine
saying.
also the baby emotionally.
Just a little bit. I think, for instance, I'll use my workplace as an example. I'm the only young person there, and I'm the only male. There's always 46, 50 plus people that I work with. And literally, emotionally, I'm always attracted to them. They always want to come to me. They always use stress balls to reduce their stress, and they always ask me, haven't you got any problem? You come to work very happy, very bubbly, very lively. Then all that they'll tell me about is, I'm into this problem and I'm stressing because of this. Oh, my partner is giving me this headache. Oh, that's girl, can you tell me something that will calm me? And sometimes if I tell someone like, oh, why have you looked in this point? Have you looked in this direction? Have you seen? Oh yeah, I didn't talk about that, you know. See, that's why I keep coming to you. It's how I present myself to them. You create that scene.
Space.
And I think even females per se like people like that, especially if it's the opposite sex, a guy and a female, that they see that whenever they need someone to talk to, they can just pick a phone and call you. You will listen. You'll be that person that will give them a hearing aid. You are always attracted to them, and also it creates issues sometimes if you don't take care, because then that attraction will develop to something else.
Yeah.
We'll get to that. So, Ike, one say, one say, I don't know, say, Tuntun for, we have, well, most Tuntun for, I'm not going to say all of us, but a lot of the time, no, we can't know, and that's all, say, who create boundary be, to say, be a, obi kasa ho anase se sia me ye say now say, oh, gifty man ye me sa, then I take offense. Why are you creating that boundary? Why are you creating that boundary? But broni na wo ye na dia we say no. I think say sometimes we have that friction. Say, oh, obi can there be a nature so on pemasem. Do you feel that?
Yeah. I believe that probably obviously it's all cultural, isn't it? Sometimes when I'm someone that find it difficult to say no to people.
And you say no because you can't always say yes to a lot of things. Yeah.
Which obviously my wife has told me to, start doing that, and God bless her, she's helping me to be more
thank
assertive.
you, wife. Me did the same.
Gabriella.
Oh, Gabby. Hi, Gabby.
Yeah. So what I must say is because of our culture. Yeah. When you say no, if you feel like you don't want to help the person, or you don't want to give any, let's say, aid to the person, that they feel that they have to, let's say, go distant from you because you are not useful for them. And that's the issue. They find it like, oh, you always say yes, why now you're changing, saying no? Is it anything wrong with you? Is anything you are changing? Which they don't know that, sometimes people understand that, oh, I've given so much, now it's time for you to give back. That's the issue that we have. Most of the time Africans, we take a lot but we don't give back.
And when you take and don't give, you can also be unattractive.
Yes, very.
Isn't it? Yeah, you need to. Emma, obiso well, per me reading, I also per niemi hu say there is a fine line between confidence and being cocky.
Being arrogant.
And it's such a turn off, isn't it? Like when you be cocky, apple cry, me na me de buy you. Oh, every corner no the apple buy, but it's how they say. Yes, it's such a turn off. It's not attractive. What are your thoughts?
I agree with that.
So,
especially people that love. I'll say guys that love. Not talking about themselves, but they will show you like, oh yes, I got it. Like I've got money. I've done this.
How do they then show? So they're no more motivated, no more taking.
No, they speak about it. Like they full and they're cocky with their words. They'll be like, oh yeah, I have money. I have this. And they'll go on about it. Like there's no need for you to do that. Like you can talk about your achievements. However, don't be cocky about it. Like know your boundaries type of thing.
Okay. So, so Eric, saying a man when in you like oba, how would you say so oba John and Oba? I and I'll buy kasabebre. I'll say, like this is a bit too much. Like,
for me, Becca said, like Ibia, for example, or baby, the way Nisubano, I will talk about like Nisuban, the way she portrayed herself, and I said the way said only a man from Pokasa, and the way she talked to people, the way she talked to elderly people, to you. That's something that for me is really, really important, because that can define the kind of person that you are. So it's about your character. And also there are some girls that can actually hide it properly. I mean, they can pretend.
And there are some boys too can hide it.
They can pretend that they are this kind of person, but at the end of the day they are not. But then sooner or later your character comes out anyway. So yeah, that's for me.
Okay, medicine also for the account.
I think that man be omukasa. Makasa in
And where then do we draw the line? How then should makasa to say when, because it's also okay for someone to say, you know what, I passed that exams, I got straight A's, and I'm so proud of myself.
But that sounds nice, you know. But when you start brushing it, like maybe your friend has come to you and she's like, oh, you know what, I didn't do well in my exam, like I feel bad about it. Do you understand? So yeah,
because I remember like 2008, before my final exams for my WASI, one of my schoolgirls got raped, and out of that incident, most of it came down to the words that she was on about saying among the friends. Me, my best school had 3 years, and that time, one of the mates had a relationship that came out publicly, and they were punished at the assembly ground. So the lady teamed up with some guys to get her raped based on just some of them and out of that, and it was really a sad story. It's a schoolgirl that have kept her virginity all this while, and it came out of it during rape, and it was just the words that she was uttering at the instance of another colleague. So sometimes it's good to stick to your words, but you need to know how to word it, not to be like you are boasting of what you can. And guys also do that. Oh, me papa no tune for private jet me no fee buy if you Bugatti you come my crowd on that one thing on that them. And so there are certain girls out there you know saying into them.
First of all, the rape thing, I am so sorry to whoever, I don't know if you're watching or listening, but under no circumstance, na obi be kansema, who feel say be excited or be encouraged or be mawaye. I mean,
power of words are really powerful.
If someone says, oh, nobody can rape me near there, it's not saying, say, brabe rape me. There's a fine line. I think the person did it out of pure spite. The person did it because nipa bonifo awaye na adwin say ni obeya no. And that shouldn't be encouraged in any way. Wo hwe ya na wo tie ye na wo sorry no be ka say na me hu odi obi antime mo me na akobo na. Like when do we draw the line say people can whether we like it or not. Obi wo ho a opese kan Obi so or no on cash. Until we need to find that balance. I don't think say Obi kasa na no che say was so reacted to. And where do we draw the balance? Say Obi betimi aka say, oh, you know what, I look good and I know it. And I say they say, oh Ebia, make us say, oh Hima, your skin is shining. Now I say, oh I know, thank you. Like hey, yeah, because say arrogant. But on him say the one kono.
Auntie, you share the two no. Give your comments. Oh Hima, oh yeah, I know auntie. On Hima I'm in dada. Listen to the two comments.
Okay.
It's coming from the same person.
Right.
But the connotation of it is different. Right. And that is where Rebecca said, okay, what is confidence and what is arrogance?
I feel like it's your tone.
Yeah, it's the way as well that you say it.
Yeah, the way you word it. Yeah.
But and then of the facial expression as well, I can tell.
Oh, thank you, Auntie. Like
being arrogant when you are being.
It can be subjective. It depends on who you're speaking to.
Yeah, I do believe that too.
Sometimes it's obvious.
Yeah.
And sometimes I feel like the things that happen to people who are that cocky is karma, unfortunately, because for every action there will be some equal and opposite reaction somewhere. Into yes, show. Let me just use as an example. When I went to Ghana, mitna church free kaswa, and there was a lady or pair, and I know it was just based on how I was dressed. My mom was telling me said I dress I would you know, obi huwa obi bet me di wechi akwohwe baby kra okọ keke. And from Trotro all the way to a castle all the way to La Paz, nana so na so te the whole time mom's quantum. So, you know, there should be a fine line in somewhere free when obi wa because they be on an ebine and as obine there is power in the tongue. You know, obi akon and well look at me, but it's sometimes it's the things that you say. Obi him say you've been successful in this and you're doing so well, but the fact that wako jina baby said you were for too, you know, obi wa and you know, there's just got to be boundaries.
I really do get it. I am all love for humility. I mean, my brother says something or say humility is the sexiest thing, you know. I am all up for it. But with karma, no, meaning say obi beka say, oh, you know what, me yes idea way. Oh, me toe way. What karma then would that be? How can anyone hurt you, especially if you've done that and it's true? To say why your exam, what pass it? I mean, what pass it straight A's? Now what they are borrow? It be a Facebook status. Next exam,
maybe that a person may not like the fact that you got better grades than them.
And so is that a problem?
But some people it is.
But that's fine. So it be ain't to say what 1 hour passing. Now why ya na me man ya. Now what impact will that have on you?
Yeah, but we live in a society.
That's what she said.
Bad news travel faster than good news.
Exactly.
If you're a small circle, no,
it's true.
You can be open and free about the things that you're accomplishing and be proud of yourself. But who could you know, be one kasana who do say still bonya there. Obi wa how showers in your bashe.
Even in your circle, you need to be careful. Yeah, you need to be careful.
Then why are you keeping
I'm saying that because I know, sir, like in your circle there could be some people that you wouldn't know. Or because as I say, people can hide stuff. People can hide their character.
Right.
So you wouldn't know. They are close to the people that are close to you. Sometimes they are the people that
can hurt you the most.
So you need to be careful about that. And then you need to study people. That's why you need to know who you can tell stuff, who you cannot. And then sometimes because you don't have any evidence, you can't just go to the person and be like, oh, because you don't have any evidence. So it's up to you to be careful around even the circle. So
okay.
But you know, say you will but one thing we forget, say that's the worst area we can ever be.
Yeah.
Because that is the place full of
resurrection.
When I conclude my statement, you understand.
You can be.
No, it's the worst place you can be because in the circle of Christ, it's full of so many.
There was Judas, isn't it?
No, it's even full of so many mad people and mentally ill people. That's why we are all coming for healing. Yeah. That is where the healing place is. About that from Kwani in Abishia. No, in the body, no. When I each was madness. Yeah, but yes, yeah.
Imbalance. Imbalance. Now kind of madness there. Madness is all that.
No, mental issues is something that is also
right.
and you back Christ mono.
Okay.
We've got our own issues different.
Yeah.
And Timmy Abahano, this is the center I understand it works. And to the other bano, say depression or deba, say frustration or deba, say a corona about dama or deba, say a bibina about dama yina ne diaba.
Right.
It's a congregation full of ill people coming from redemption.
Right.
Christ is coming to redeem us.
Yeah.
So even this circle is the dangerous circle we can even be with. Because will attract me, they are attracting me to you, in the circle of Christ, and it's different. You say, oh, sister in Christ, Beatrice, my sister, where my sister, but what might attract me to them will be different. It will be or any situation on the buyer. So then who body pass me see a double
Right.
Not than Wabon. We have a situation where they buy not the Nyashima, so then who bought me pass me see a double one. And do the most churches see a power. Before say Obia by this person, you see a group of 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3. Mostly Tasha Nipano Mutajinon, they've got something they share in common.
So
That's true.
If everyone,
I don't know if that's true.
most
But
people,
that's why there will
be
say
something underlying that brings them together.
Oh, definitely.
That
Maybe
creates
the love of God. Yeah.
It's a common denominator, but there are specific.
Someone might think say Benedicta is spiritually grown. Or someone might think say Benedicta is spiritually grown. Man, if I'm home on that on chair me Bible or the church me Bible masem because be am means hard and me buy no me yade am de buy and that will help me cure it.
Right.
More than how Benedicta oh brain me Bible. My man found home on. If you was upon bia no be san oh bra you be am Bible that day. You be am Bible that day. You better know that day. So in that circle of madness, it's really dangerous. But Christ being the head, being the healer, we pour out our madness onto him, cast our burden onto him, then he redeems us. Right. So I saw them cry dear.
In the Bible, right, it does say that we shouldn't keep our testimonies to ourselves. Where do
we draw the line?
Exactly. You need to come publicly and share it. So the reason behind that is not for people to be jealous of you. The reason behind that should be for people to see say that's the reason of testimony. That's the reason of coming publicly.
Preach, woman of God.
But I have something to say about that.
I think he disagrees.
I disagree about because you can testify. Obviously, you can come here and testify, but you don't have to. Because I had this. I know someone that had a.
So be back church musue.
No.
If you don't put limits on people.
The following week will be the following week no more unity.
Sorry.
Stop you from saying it.
I'm not saying, but you need to be careful. That's what I'm saying.
It's the way you go about it. To be honest, it's the way you go about it. My name I don't see you, and then tell me which one I'm being arrogant and which one I'm being genuinely giving thanks to God. Oh, I didn't say. Na me nim kra se enka metumi mpo akosku mi mpo de ka me no wan enso nyame aboa me a se se de nyame aboa metimi akosku mi so mo na ma se nyame me enso ya me ye nyina ma pass me de nyame ase amen.
Yeah, good one.
That's a good one.
Madansi ami bedie me yeah enkofu bi mpo wa sorry dem na ko mu de e ka mo nko na ka school di school ka ko bi da enso nyame de o de ho to no so ene o mu mpo anche mo na ba betwitwi mi fie me form adwuma na mo hunu. How are you going to judge the two?
Obviously, the first one is the good, the second one. That's what
I'm being arrogant.
Depends on the way the person.
But I mean, I said I'm not born in a school, and I just want to testify to it. But one, I'm just trying to use the marshal will be a wakame once and be sitting there pinpointedly, and I'm be dancing. My mustn't be saying
exactly.
And the other one,
so the intention you say
me basa me be catching so answer will be who so arrogant. Sometimes unconsciously you let your intention known to people to say we. Ade a working in our be any pass messaging no worker. Ade a working in any pass messaging no worker. But enya mintina where the worker. So there's nothing wrong saying it. When you're straight A's, oh, me the nyamia so menya e misua de ye me tu kwa de nyina for say me de musua de amuso meet menya e ni bi. Na ma meka say mo so ya na mama mo mane ne nam no. No mo kokokokoko no.
E bi so ye no crow.
But
I know
posting and having a testimony.
Yeah. Media say David. I come out can it will be for a show being cry. Now can keke the baby and found. That's where it gets negative and it brings issues.
Because you can testify and address children and say children stay in school. Right. Instead of saying, sorry, now I'm
testimony.
There are two different ways.
Testimony.
Yeah.
So the attraction you try to create, it's gone. Okay. One message communicated wrongly.
All right then. So viewers, could break about in time. No, put your comments underneath the video so we can read it. Okay. So we're going for a quick commercial break. We should be back. Stick around. Welcome back at TF4 Hour of Inspiration, Suni. So if you just joined us, we are talking about how to look attractive and then restrain. Say yeah Christopher, kwanya be faso ye be present ye ho se ni nyame se ye present. Obi ka say I don't know, so obi na kai say Jesus no so na ye wo share God movie, Jesus movie na natare no. Nah, people were fighting over it.
Yeah.
It tells me that it was quite expensive. Like if it was cheap and I say people wouldn't be fighting over it. So maybe as Christians we need to look good. If we represent, besides, you see a papa ne sky, isn't it? Like you see, oh, if you're singing you need dia a strunia sassy and a gold, oko heaven the gold in your day may you sure say and no tray says yeah papa. In fact, sikani ben kranawa yehu Harry ni iriya Megan who now to say this girl is classy, this girl is chic, you know, all of these things. And to yeah Christopher, should we be into our physical looks? Should I start with you, B?
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with you trying to make yourself appear make yourself presentable.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with that. In fact, you know, even if you're good inside, whether you're attracting God, attracting friends, whoever you're attracting, not a lot of people would want to get close to you.
Right.
So I don't think there's anything wrong with it. But I think that, as always, it comes back to...
Yeah, what name you know?
Yes, if it's taken the attention from God, and I said, or it doesn't make them even interested to become a Christian.
Yeah.
And now because a Christian, you say, you know, what's the point in me trying to, you know, be any different from you? So there should always be boundaries with everything that you do.
Okay, medicine where?
I think so.
I dream say Christopher say a bad story and now you namuasia you fire hona obi ehun say oh papa ni nyame ampa. Just say we see who ya.
One thing I say, I can say, Obia Munyameda. Right. Obia Musa de Osimisi, no, sir. But Wama Nipa Adjene, sir, and Wama Yensuye, and Wama Yunhunumu. And how do you use this three out there? Shamataria Mashi said, Miami Hui. I don't have anything against the word looking nice, good, presentable, gorgeous, whichever definition we can give to a person, either a man or a woman. But what is the motive behind it? As Beatrice said, is it taking the attention of God to yourself? Have you become the next person people are going to see and say, hush? Until there was this lady who became every Sunday now, and most men beside say, young sorry, but they were just going to see Atari and Eddie or the Baba say, sorry, they were looking at it. There's nothing wrong with it, but I think that now, no, yeah, man, abroso, yeah, dosu, do. Yeah, baby drew. I saw them and I said, someone forced to have it. Sometimes you don't see much, but I say, I'm nodding. And anybody that's been on any church altar and also on the pulpit or in front, facing the congregation, I say, I told her a broso. And yes, because attractiveness as a child of God, shouldn't direct the attention, or it shouldn't deviate off God that we come in to serve. na emma me say na ba aso ne ehwe obi a dressing on the beba sister we hwe say na me the bag we na ko mbeka next day I say me the bag for neka ye papa na nyame papa na wuska, but what is richness in itself? Yanka say nyankopon ye the father of all cash.
No.
Your richness. So you can say amunya dia enyesika. And then I mostly we sometimes you quote scriptures no near the general so yam me papa kra wo no na ye sika nyina ja and I you see here for na dia here you can say obi ye here ni a o say blessed are those that are spiritually what who know here for. That means even spiritually you can be poor.
That's right.
So in an instance nyankopon ye sika nyina ja no. Even yes, born in the root, money is the root of all evil. That means sikan kasa in itself umpono kedi yako boni bibrem. But looking good, looking presentable no. It's you. You very be organo motaka only no no shine high. Obi beti makotata ayo boutique. Bebre maybe akoyi bend down boutique 2 cedi. No atoso, no a shine starch all times no. No chimo the lie atu animu. E shine ask for ready made boutique there. And so no be a force no year. You don't need a lot in terms of physical cash to look good.
True.
You just have to look decent.
A little bit goes a long way because at the end of the day, yeah, it's been overused, but you do go and now don't say
Are you waste?
When you're in
Are you waste?
Even at a shall crowd the quam better. So you've just got to keep that in mind.
And may Inshane whom we're here for is one of the best Bible is one of my go-to. I interpret it as when you hear why you want more. So when you want more of God, that is what God says you are blessed. Indeed, more of God doesn't mean more of your physical appearance.
That's right.
It doesn't mean more of elaborate hairstyles. It doesn't mean more of makeup. Saying that I like makeup and I wear makeup, but if I'm not looking as I'm looking, please check me, okay? One country may say, oh, you could have done better with this, okay? Because more kind of there should be a fine line. You should come as a child of God, you know.
But auntie, should that be a difference though? Because you don't stop becoming a Christian.
That is it.
So however you present yourself, no be home I feel like it should be the same because then it's a bit hypocritical. I may even be guilty of it, but you're here one way, you're out there one way. Like, who are you?
Okay, let me just be correct here. Until Niana may kind of say, mean to me in fact bikini sebe image na nyame fie. Until se me call poolside and I say me ba eco beacher. I would like to think say I'm dressing to go to a beach or to go to a poolside. That doesn't mean say satire no me di bejina ha what is called it's appropriate. It's not appropriate. It's the same way me call party beer na me dress here me pan say oh dress white me kwa me measure to go to that party. I'm trying to say, sir, as every human person, we wear different hats. Me your mother, me your wife, me your friend, me your all those different facets of me, make me. And I'm also a child of God. And sometimes, without necessarily saying, say you are becoming different. I feel that sometimes you wear a different hat to a different place. It doesn't necessarily mean that the core of you, which you call a child of God, changes.
True.
It means that you are going to a different space that needs a different version of you to be able to function there. Yeah. And you should respect that.
Yeah, definitely.
Right. And now the big count.
Oh no, I do agree, 100%, yeah.
And obiso say Christians your fashion sense especially young people young warrior you see e binu mo ha na dwen say mema o motinya me fie na o mo pese oh na wa dressing na bi asebe ne no for bi ana ne ba bi te ho no na mema ne penti so wa anye saa Yes, say, and this I'm looking at you because you are a man, and me who say worry. Do you think say that narrative is right? Say a man be a while imagine to say medicine case we just hey, sorry, and I say, oh, I'm dressing to, you know, ebia me here obi, me here say obi beba me life when this is the way I me dress here. But do you think say that is? I know say that is not right, but do you think say that is what is happening?
You know, I must say that in the church that in which I go, they dress decently.
Right.
Yeah, Church of Pentecost.
And how society dress decently?
Definitely you do. But I think it's all about this thing of the world that is creeping into the church as well. So what we find attractive, what we define as attractive, now is changing because of the world and what the world is giving us. You know, sometimes we lose our identity into what the world is saying that we should be or we are. So it's very important for every believer, you know, as I was speaking to you offline, like to know who you are, you know, and hold it with pride. You know, don't bow down for anyone else, you know, rather than God. So if you think that to please a man you should change yourself, then there is a big question mark on who are you. You know, like understanding who you are will help you to achieve your purpose in life. So obviously your identity defines your purpose. For example, if you are the next king or if you are the next queen, we all know that you have to go through discipline.
Right.
So this is where boundaries come in, because obviously you have to behave in some ways. There are some places that you shouldn't go because a princess or a prince or, you know, a king should not be there.
Give us examples.
So for example, let's say we are doing you know, let's go talk about the normal example. You're gonna say clubbing and all that stuff. Honestly speaking, I was going to clubbing before, but you come to some point in your life that you feel that you are in the wrong place. And you feel that, you know, all those things, probably you find it funny or nice before, but now because you have grown and you have come to a next stage in your Christian life, then those things are not good for you anymore. You will fall. Sometimes when Paul say that
I can be everything for Christ.
So when I'm with the Gentiles, I behave like a gentleman. When I'm with the Jews, I behave like a Jew. But Paul says something. I know who I am. I know who I'm serving. So this is what we forget. Because Paul was strong in his identity and he knew who he was. So he would have not compromised identity for anything else. So I believe that sometimes when we come into this kind of space as church, as you're saying, we have to dress according to our environment. And that is very important for us to understand. Thank you.
No,
I was just going to say that he was saying something. I may have forgotten my point. However, in regards to, I think I forgot my point.
Okay,
sorry, go on.
Eric,
if I remember.
Add some to it. Do you think, say, that is the common notion? A man be say, oh, may bass. What's that? Obia so many intia or bass or in your be a walk to some medicine kai, in your be a benya me fee but to seek God. People come because of their selfish ambitions. Obi wa na jane say, oh, matne fiache, I'm bored, Hannah may babe. People, I won't be surprised. Not that I know anyone, but I won't be surprised. So be not jane and say, oh, I'm bored at home, and then my main dressing, I may measure share. Yes, be a may background, and you be crying makasa. So they would hope they would maybe dress in that way into your bar. So I say, oh, and then as a med dress, it's any bayad or be humia or behem. And me who be swa bar sorry or say into and no so swear. Or no undress it to say, oh, undress it say you know, but or say chele and a jogging bottoms and now share t-shirt be and also more back kind of thing.
So it's not appropriate to where you are going. So
but that's what they're comfortable in, and that's all they have. What would you say about
that?
That's what they have. They're comfortable in that.
No. But the same money that you used to buy the joker, you could have used the money to buy something to come to church.
Does it cost anything? See, everything we do has an effect. The Osha joggers, Osha Charlie, or buy. How many people are even going to look at Sanipan? Never the way you know for one, nor they buy. How many people are going to look at this person? Which mentality are people going to have? Tops 10% to make us very damn and that is the end of the story.
Exactly.
But you know for
Obepa mema edi akra no ayo hu hwede o chire bi
ebi so anani ono so wa na no te se ne be iken ebi anani o ade na no da bi asa wo ya ye bias maybe you're going to be this is the first time walking in church so she may not know no ebi enye the first time ebi what let's be analytical ebi out say oh enne mekwa sorry and this is how madwen ye me say e was me kwasa because nyankopon say we should come as we are nti me so ma hye me chele ni ma hye me jogging ni ma hye me t-shirt ampa no waba ho she came as she was or hye me t-shirt kama obi so say enne me kwasa sorry nyankopon say omusu ni omu nyina wa
look at these people
it's drawing the attention from God obi a wa joggers no obi on say you know
I feel like if I see someone in my church, for example, because I would say that there's a lot of youth from various universities of Birmingham. There's a lot. Some of them come with tracksuit. And then when I say that, I'm a bit confused because I was brought up with the fact that when you're going to church, you need to dress in a certain way. But obviously, because we are in, let's say, in a country where everyone is a bit, there's a lot of freedom. Everyone do what they want. They just come to church and I'm thinking, what is this? And then obviously, but you need to be very careful as well on how you speak to them, how you make them understand.
How does tracksuit affect your Christian life as opposed to wearing a bikini or something revealing to church? You're causing people to lust after you. You're causing people to look at you in a way that may deviate them from the path that they're on. And you well in fact know that. And I think, if you're saying bikini in kwana or and saying you're new
bikini you'll be on sorry like bikini
revealing clothes that's when we are new that's when the church posting say this is the path that we need to set you on. That's when the community comes in, I believe. Say as a Christian, we don't expect you to be like this. Maybe I wouldn't be. Let's put together something for our Christian sister here. I don't see anything wrong with that. But tracksuits now will share the abano. That's all you have.
No. That's
and also should be paying attention. I think we should be paying attention. We should be paying. I get you are quiet. We should be paying the same attention. They were same attention to pay attention to that woman.
I agree. What is appropriate then?
Both of them are not appropriate.
What would you say is the ideal? Because sometimes, sorry to cut you off. Sometimes, when I was in this church, not to say anything bad about someone, but when there were new converts that came in, not necessarily Ghanaian, not necessarily African, or who said it would be Ghana, sometimes they feel they just don't belong because they don't have all of these things. What I say, so that's my point of view. That's where I'm coming from with my idea.
So are you saying that we should dress?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that.
Let's give these two people, one with a tracksuit and then that chalawate, and then one with a half hand or short exposing. Them two have got two altar calls kneeling down here. Two of them on the altar. Let's be realistic. How is the attention going to be on those two people kneeling down here on the altar?
Obviously, Mayor Shia said near or revealing.
Let's be honest. How is it going to be?
The attention is going to be on the
revealing. Why is it so?
Because obviously that's
why exposing be a man for her.
She's exposing. But at the same time, I feel like as we were saying, both of them need to be addressed. Yes. If you're coming in a place,
you address it in different ways.
Yes,
it's not causing. The tracksuit doesn't cause anything. It's not diverting any attention.
It's not diverting attention, but at the same time, it's not appropriate to the place. As we said before,
but there are some churches that you are allowed to wear tracksuits. What's the issue?
It isn't a party. and then that's the dress code that they are saying that we need to wear. Obviously, you're gonna dress according to that.
Okay, now we're even talking about attractiveness. Which one would you guys find attractive? Say yes, say say I know that is why we're here.
There's
What then would we say? Sorry. Na yababeshia obia ebia washa something revealing. No, biswa share something tracksuit. Ne washa chele, no washa ni t-shirt. Talking about being attractive as a memano. Mo na ebia mo nyame fie ebia mo ba Christo fie Ike. Which one would you say oh we na madwe me say nyame ebe pese me nware no. Anase wo de yenyi nyame frame. Wo natural mind no. Why now obeka say obe worry no?
Oh, like honestly.
So one worry Mrs.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Right. But honestly speaking, like thinking of the tracksuit here, I'm someone that loves tracksuit. I remember when I first started dating my wife told me, please turn it down. Because we're going out, you're going out in town, I'm always tracksuit, very relaxed. And she said, you have to dress like a man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's it's you dress according to your age and your status and so forth. But what I'm saying, what I find attractive, honestly, is subjective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I like people that like the way you dress as well. For me, it's good. It's nice. And I like bodycons as well.
Right.
Sometimes. So, but obviously has to go a bit down. Yeah.
Right.
But the fact is, the tracksuit. What was meant to do that tracksuit? Tracksuit is good for when you're going to jogging, gym. This is what tracksuit meant for before, isn't it? So you're coming to church, and I've seen young people now. They tracksuit. I'm telling you, auntie, you cannot buy it. It's
yes. Or like Prada.
But B said something before. Is what he has. He has many clothes, but it's a decision that he made to come to church like this. Why? Because for him probably the dressing is not important. Which probably now today we are here to tell you that obviously the way you dress to environment is important. So dress appropriately and accordingly. So it's for us to let them understand that tracksuits are not bad, but don't overwear it because they're worried to go to school, and I know that because they're all like that. Tell me, B.
I don't know.
No, but the men that you see, how many men you see with jeans most of the time, and how many men you see with tracksuit? Boys, I'm saying, they're all tracksuit. When you go around on town, all tracksuit, nice tracksuit, but so you're dressing to go out like this, you're dressing to come to church like
Where's
this.
the difference?
What's the difference?
I'm just gonna add something in regards to. Sorry, again. I'm gonna.
But you can come in. Yeah, later. No, you go first.
Oh right, okay, sorry. I'm just gonna quote the Bible again. It says, "Nyamisha kumim."
Right.
So when we talk about that,
Yeah, but what is in your heart comes out.
Exactly.
So whatever.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying that.
Yeah, but it's not appropriate.
I remember Pastor Steve saying something that
It's not.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying. That we are just looking at the person from the outside. We don't know the intention they came to church with. Auntie, you were saying that the woman that was wearing a revealing dress, you were saying that she came to church. She was like, "Oh, I'm gonna wear something revealing." But personally, you didn't know why she came to church dressed.
You are right. Absolutely.
The same way the person that was wearing chalewate jogger bottoms, we didn't know why they came dressed like that. Okay, cool. You can say that they were portraying the mental health. However, it's not like that. They may have just thought, I'm going to church. That's it. That was the only reason, and they picked out the first outfit that they saw. So if Nyame Eshe Akumem, and God knows that this person came to church, came into my presence, I've blessed this person, and I'm about to do something great for them. He's not going to look at the outfit. Yes, cool. An elder or somebody from church can sit down and be like, when you come to church, do this. But it isn't written anywhere in the Bible that it says you can't wear jogger bottoms to church.
No.
Yeah, but
there's a lot of things that are written in the Bible.
If you're talking about spiritually wise, then I feel like if that's the case, then if you know that you're going to the presence of the Lord and you have that spiritual thing in you, then you will dress accordingly.
Discernment.
That. Because if you want to pray in a spiritual way, I know that I'm good, because even before back in the Bible, I know the Israelites, when they were going in the presence of the Lord, they were not going as in a normal
And
day.
then even they have a dress code in the Bible, isn't
Even the
it?
Muslim, if you look at the Muslim, most of them, when they're going to the mosque, they dress accordingly.
Even when they're not in the mosque, they also
do the same.
dress.
So that's what I'm saying. So if you have that spiritual thing in you, as she's saying, that you know that you're going to the presence of the Lord, so I have to dress in a way that is appropriate. So you can't tell me that,
But do you
I have
think
that spiritual thing in me, and I'm going in a way that it doesn't really make
everyone
sense
is
to
on
me.
the same spiritual wavelength. Everybody, we can't even measure faith. We can't measure somebody's
Can I add something about, because all these things here, obviously in church, one thing that I don't like is when obviously we are hammering on the way people should be dressed. But I believe that if obviously you are coming here, you are eating, the food, that's the word of God, and you are growing. Sometimes you will look at yourself and say, oh no, this dress, no, I can't wear this.
Yeah.
Sometimes you are 50-50. If you are 50, that means that's wrong.
It's not good. Yeah.
Take it out and dress another thing, because sometimes my wife will wear something and she will feel, no, I'm not. And she would ask me, do you think? And I say, if you ask me that, you know that it's not right. So she will change it. So I believe that if you are coming, obviously if you're a newcomer, all these things are going to take a bit of time. So we should give time to them. But to those people that obviously have had the food, and now we go from milk to bones, isn't it?
Yeah. So when drinking milk be alright.
Thank you. So it's very important for us to understand that spiritual journeys, yes, we are in the different paths, as you say, Ohima, and I do agree with that. But if the spirit is in you, then you will convince you that what you're wearing,
it's not.
But then who are we addressing the situation? Because
both, I think so. We should address both equally.
About, knowing the spiritual journeys that we are addressing, because there are some people that don't know nothing. They've just heard, resurrection is there. I'm going to church today at Mashem attracted to me court. That's it.
But that one is different.
So that's fine.
But then when that's fine, because that's a newcomer. She doesn't. The person doesn't really know God.
Right.
But then when they're talking about someone that you were saying that they know that God is in our spirit.
When they start talking about
I didn't say the person. I said in the Bible it says that nyame oshe akumim, right? So the person has come to church
because they know the Bible.
No.
They don't know the Bible. As soon as you know that something changes.
You don't know that, because you can be on your spiritual journey. That doesn't mean that you know the whole of the Bible. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Nobody would know
the Bible. If the person doesn't know, but they know God, they know that, I'm going into His presence, so I should dress accordingly. It will be the discernment of God that will speak to them and say, this is not right. They may just decide to disobey the Holy Spirit.
Right.
So then what do you do with that then? Person, when you see that person
they have
in church,
to grow. Then they'll have to grow
exactly.
in that.
So when you see like a person like that in church, it's not say, no. What you should do as us Christians that we've been in the church, we know the church, we know the doctrine, we know how to dress and all of that. We should be the ones to pull that person aside, as she said. If we're gonna put some money together to help them buy something a bit better, if they say, this is all I have, we can do that.
Top Primark, I tell you, a Prada jogging bottom. Obeka say, no. You can't, it is.
That's when it pulls.
Yeah, but most young people like we are, trainers and should be there is a label on it, like whether you like it or not. You are wearing nude is in season. Obia has a bit of fashion. Look at you, nude too. Nude is in season. You're wearing your thingy. Bodycon is in season. Obia have some kind of fashion sense. Near ope. Into ebia or share ya bobo okay, sister Gifty or share jogging bottoms into yem bobo esikano. Ebia say boano yenya £50. He found ye benya niema bebre. Ebia a matala ni benya bebre. Ya the command of crop because anankofo we then no moye. Aya crown shampoo no waba.
Because have we had that talk with that person before? Coming up with the idea of the money. You need to know where they stand. You need to know why they've come into the presence like that. Exactly.
Education,
Because I'm not gonna lie. One time in my old church, I went to church and I was wearing an off-shoulder dress, right? And this woman, God bless her so much. Like, till this day, I love the way she addressed it. She pulled me aside and she was like, oh, how are you? How are you doing? How is school? How is uni? Oh, who's your mom? Like, who's your dad? You know? And she just kept talking to me. And then at the beginning, I was like, ooh, what is it? And then she was like, oh, you know when you're coming to church, like, dress like a lady.
Oh, that's kind. Yeah.
Dress like a cover yourself, because in the Bible, what does it say? Cover yourself.
Right.
And she was fancy, so she was like, you know what akitasia means? And akitasia means kataunsi.
Right.
So when she started, I was like, yeah, I know what that means. My mom has taught me, because obviously my mom is fancy as well. So, you know, the way she, and to this day, like when she calls me to check on me, or I call it, like, I loved it the way she did it. And since that day, every time I go to church, I make sure that I'm not exposed. You understand? So she addressed it. Maybe when I went to church that day, many mothers saw me. They looked at me and I shouldn't be. You never know. But that woman came. She pulled me aside. She didn't do it in front of people. When women must say back,
yes, I want to know the baby about the good come. Like there are people like that. Or to know the baby about the good come. No, the baby. Yeah. Oh, a lot of people do that.
There are some churches.
There are some churches like that. What you want on every crowd or Nipani are very conscious. So no, the scarf about the katana. Then everybody is looking like that is you are embarrassing the person. If you love that person, you would be patient enough to wait. It only takes maximum 3 hours for the person to finish the church.
Yes.
So when to me and Yasabotrena, you are not doing that out of kindness. You just want to embarrass that person.
True.
And God doesn't like people like that.
Yeah.
God don't do that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so if a lot of, well, not a lot of people, but most people think, say, sorry, now you're young now. Like you don't have a +1. Maybe when you be a obe warina and as when you be a bear. And no, people think, say, into to say, wona we single, I won't worry. You would think, say, people would think it's a won't worry because you are unattractive. Do people think like that? Because I was so surprised when I read that. Say in some spaces, say Christopher or Monwaria, people think that you are so unattractive. Intia obia and worry. Is that much baby sada?
I feel like when they say unattractive, probably because of the person character.
It's all of that. It's not physical.
I've heard a lot about people that I would say ladies that they are not married because of even men as well is normal. Both of them they are not married because of the way, as I said before, the way they talk to people, the way they bring themselves up. It's a lot of issues. So in that way, I've heard that. I've heard a lot of that.
Yeah.
So.
And what does unattractiveness mean to you? I know we've touched a little bit on that, but we'll work more about it. But B, what would be an unattractive? What would mean for you to say, Nipa way is so unattractive?
Yeah, for me, I'm just going to lay it all out.
Do it. Let it out. Bring it all out.
You have a list.
I don't like cocky people. I don't like that. I don't like rude people that are inconsiderate of other people around them. I really dislike somebody that doesn't have, not dislike, one thing that I find attractive is empathy.
Right.
When I'm looking for someone, I'm looking for empathy, because someone can sympathize with you,
but I will not empathize with you.
Not empathize with you. I feel like if you can empathize with someone, you know where they're coming from, and there's a way that you deal with them from that empathy.
Right.
So to me, that's just one thing. If you're somebody that doesn't have that empathy, you're rude and you're cocky, I cannot be around you. Whether you're someone that I'm interested in as a mate or as a friend, you just see me just pull away, because that is just not something I'm interested in.
And with empathy, I don't think so. You should. I think people also misinterpret it and not just say you have to have been in the person's shoes. But it's just you being human, isn't it? Like you being human to say, I don't know, but I understand.
Exactly.
I think that may feeling, and maybe sometimes touching someone to, letting them. How about you?
I think my major problem with when I had this topic is like how the word is creeping into the church. Now, like Etimika
The world
is creeping into the church. Etimika ma say Bumpires efa bema pe so pe 6 pack kaka so pe 10 ni mu ye do or you say like
you find out it awesome.
Many men of God do preach about these things to their young people coming up. Be specific. Like to swaka be specific. I've been this is buying the youth into so many stuff that or young person be cry the attractiveness drift into that aspect of it, and our young ladies, our young guys are pushing into for that because ya come and many marriage ceremonies catch us man pie burning specific church bema ope so you're 6 foot I can say 6 foot my name
specific
upcoming checks and
this is what the young girls are looking after these things, and it's creating. But what I believe it, and growing up, one thing I will keep saying is chance will that means no matter how you are, you will find fit in the eyes of someone. It doesn't matter. Chance will fit, and may father do say come up and it's just one pair size. That means you didn't look for what that fits you. And I always do educate the young one and say it doesn't matter. Sometimes it's not say you are overdoing things, and that's why body enhancement is also creeping into the church. Oh, maminko yiha kakana memfemuha, maminko yiha kakana memfemuha. No or see also fetchiro no ba o see asori be say things and no bia no. These are what is creeping gradually into the church in terms of physical attraction or person do honoma but I think that we should be attracted to people emotionally, someone that is emotionally strong, that can handle you when you are down, someone that can empathize with you, someone that can see things from the angles differently, that you can agree to disagree and come to a conclusion.
But sorry to cut you off, but can you also say that's not the first thing that they see. The first thing they see is so that is also important, but after this, what
lies behind it? And it brings the question to Asemana, yes, sister Beneka said, Yankopon do shakumem.
Thank you.
Literally,
Thank you.
And that is what we all keep forgetting, and it has become one of the quotations for our young girls. Or dressing in this end, I
agree with that because in the Bible also says that we shouldn't judge people.
Sometimes you not judge
it does.
Sometimes we know
in fact it doesn't mean have to have some sense of judgment. But
I'm not condemning you to judgment. There's two different things: condemning someone to judgment. That is the ultimate thing that I want God to do. And as judges, we don't even need to have judges in our establishment.
You can't condemn.
You can't condemn.
That's our men.
So, and that's the one thing that we should be addressing. Sometimes if people are dressing unconsciously, be another way. We are guy, but sometimes we zip bit maybe. No,
down food or chef drivers and that. Some ladies find it very uncomfortable. But until now, I have not almost so now you know,
I can young crab in myself. Now you also know what we are in a non-judgmental zone.
How do you know? But I want to ask a question about. So, do we have a misconception about self-love then? Like, what is self-love? Because I see ladies, hammering on that a lot. Even on Instagram or
self-care day.
Well, you do that.
Teaching myself to that.
I go out, I do my nails, I do my lashes, I do my toes, I do my hair.
Ish.
Like, I do that once. I do my hair. I do that once a month, and
Right.
it's just a way that to remember myself that all the work I'm putting in. Every single time I'm getting up, I'm going to work. Every single time I'm going into the presence of God. Every single time I'm stressed out, and I always remember that you are beautifully and wonderfully made in the eyes of God. So take care of you, because sometimes my mental
I like that
question.
question. And I'm going to come to
yeah,
it.
my
I love
mental sometimes can come out and portray through the way I dress. And I work from home, so when I'm working from home,
in your joggers.
you understand? So
Yeah.
I always look
Maybe
tight
I
in the
do
mirror.
that,
I'm always wearing like my robe.
Yeah.
So at least once a month I go out and do everything. Sometimes I do it myself, like today. But sometimes I go out. I do spend my money on myself. The same way I can spend my money on my friend, my money on
I
my
hope you
family.
pay your tithes before you spend your money on yourself.
Oh,
That's right. Not first you can't buy a whole fee. You can buy a fee. Munchia mo tithes.
100%.
Right.
But yeah.
10%.
Yeah. But at the same time, like
I had to say it.
for me, once a month is for my own care, because as soon as I look nice, I'm just, I look nice, and my mental health changes. So, it helps me keep myself sane.
Right. The question is it being misinterpreted? Also, adult dear.
I don't think it's how you looking at which angle you're looking at from, because I've worked so hard and I want to go chill out, take care of myself, do what I love to do. That's nothing.
And what do you love to do?
Yeah, that's the problem.
What in your spare time, this is my self-love moment. What do you do to make sure you are centered within you?
I think as a person, if you can't even come in terms with yourself to acknowledge who you are and the person as a person, you can't even acknowledge your fellow person. And even this eats into a lot of relationships. Sometimes when it gets to a point when it ceases appreciating yourself as a person, doing what you love to do, it affects everyone around you because it creates stress, depression and all these things because you've not been able to do what you do best. For instance, there are certain things that I do for people that it gets to a certain time. If I'm not able to do it, it's like I'm so stressed, like to the point that and it literally say if I tell you those things, I because now why are you stressing over all this? But it's like I've been so stressed that I say this and that, but I'm into me and that is what I do for myself. Every month I know say this I have to do it. If I can't do it, then there's so much on me that they're gonna call me, people are gonna depend on me, people are doing that, people need this. I'm stressing it. But if I'm able to do it, when I call my mom and they ask me, how many people were you able to do this month? And I just say 10, 20, or then, that's good. And then we talk about it and we laugh. So I think that you should find something that you do well. And once a month, treat yourself to it. I enjoy going to Ghana every 6-4 months. I'll go with either planes are up or down. I'll still find a way and go. That's what I love doing. I enjoy doing that. Corona or no Corona, during Corona period till now, I've been going every 4-6 months. Wow. I don't have a problem with that. I enjoy going home. I enjoy doing my business home. I enjoy doing what I'm doing. But is that when you sit down and said, I've also able to do something for myself? It might not necessarily even be for you, but that fulfillment that, God has been with me and I've been able to do this. I think it shouldn't be misconceived, but hey, you deal with social animals, human beings, you can't do nothing about it.
Right. So, B, also, do you think that is being misinterpreted or misunderstood?
Self-love. That's where it gets a bit controversial because I don't see anything wrong in, taking care of yourself and, pampering yourself and all of that. But if it becomes vain and yes, why baby and stuff, but at the end of the day, how did you get there? It's God that brought you there. So like you said with the title or however you may choose to do it, you put God first. For me, yes, those things are natural. For girls, you have to do all of those things. But when I take pride, not to, make myself seem above, but I take pride in giving. That's what makes me happy. When I feel like I've got to a place where, I'm quite proud of myself, I'd like to give back. It may be in any different form, but that's how I like to appreciate the things that I've got. But
is that self-love?
Sorry?
Yeah. Because it makes her feel good.
Yeah, it makes me
Right.
feel
Okay. So you giving, that's how you
Yeah.
show love to yourself.
Yeah.
That's the same way.
I do that.
Self-love.
I don't know, but I do get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It
But if I don't, it will be a very, very stressful day. for me.
Yeah.
So if I'm able to do it,
Yeah.
I'm really happy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The only reason I said this is where it gets controversial is there is that part in the Bible that says when it's getting to the end of the world,
People will love themselves.
people will love themselves. So at a certain point, when we're doing all of those things, I'd like to take a step back and thinking, am I going too far with
Yeah.
that? How, why am I doing all of these things? Why that? When I ask myself that question, then I like to rein it back a bit and think, what's the most important thing out of all of this?
Yeah.
Then I choose to do what then would make me happy at that point.
Right. What do you think with the self-love thing? Do you think that is being misinterpreted or misunderstood?
As everyone said, I think taking care of yourself is something that everyone should do. It's very important for your mental health. As she was saying, that once a month she just take care of herself. It's very, very important because I feel like dealing with, when we're talking about mental health, it's something that we need to be very, very careful because everyone has their own way to, their own way they go through stuff, their own way they deal with stuff. So, and I would just say what was it? Benny, no.
Beatrice.
Beatrice.
Yeah.
Beatrice said we need to be careful as well on if we're doing too much. Because there are some people that they just love themselves too much that when you see them you can see that
You're so into yourself.
Yeah. It's too much. So yeah, it's just the fact of being balanced, I would say, about it. Taking care of yourself at the same time. You know that you have other people around you as well. So just balance it.
Okay, and I'm going to touch on it. I do think that is being taken too far.
Thank you.
And I'm going to tell you why. So people are hiding behind self-love and doing things and being mean to people. So, like they feel say I was a BBA oka into me who oh Benedict another and why can say and I was say well, and that is good. That is good if you're reproaching nicely. Say, oh, you know what? I want you around. You don't. Let's go and jog. Let's do. But Nadine said they have come to this space of self-actualization. So that means it's a was say obia what the obia should be also in that space. Until they try to unhealthily educate people, miseducate people. And now obiso hide behind self-love now. Oh, self-love no akoye ne sebe. Ne talk across. No, I say, oh, self-love, and yeah, I'm doing that, and maybe it's good for you, but maybe a true self-love for me is when God says, and I take those words very seriously, and I take those words seriously because I know I need to look after my body, so I exercise. I may not look like it, until I make sure, say, an hour a day, I am doing something physical to prepare this body. I'm educating my mind. I'm reading the Bible. How am I going to go to the ends of the world? How am I going to be able to meet Boris and speak to Boris in a way I can't share about Nyamia Boris because me corner me kokache Boris say, Boris, Jesus loves you. Do you think so?
No.
I need to be able to educate myself to in a way say me who obia that what I know is self-love. For me, if I give to people like not being if you give that, it makes me feel so good. I'm like, oh, it can even be said you are reading or be assignment. If you're reading for them, then they're like, oh, thank you, auntie. I'm like, oh, I did that. That's good, But also people hide behind that. Oh, alcohol, no alcohol. Oh, self-love. Media, it do that day with dear. And once a month, make really, is that self-love? Where self-love means reflecting. Even when you're on the treadmill, what do you listen to? Do you listen to things that will make you better? Do you listen to things that will make you feel good about God and about humanity? And I say self-love, no somebody say, oh, you're so close down to open up to knowledge. You know, or to say, hey, and that's good. But
Thank you.
How are you going to be interacting with all these people? You are so closed-minded. Say, na ye beba be kana se machirewa untimi obuwa untimi ni komo bia I just say the topic in here just and maybe that's good, but how are you going to touch other people or mono? You don't have to go through nyami to get to them, you have to go other ways. So self-love, no, I think that is so misinterpreted and maybe misunderstood. Maybe at some point we should all come together and think about what does self-love means in the eyes of God. What does it mean to really self-love each other? Well, when you show your self-love, that is when you love each other, isn't it? Until if I'm mean to you, it means I'm mean to myself. When you're good, I'm good. They see, energy is so contagious. But if you're not looking after each other, then it's a problem.
You said something there that if I'm mean to you, I'm mean to you, I'm mean to myself.
Yeah.
I personally don't agree with that, because people that go through mental health, they may be...
Oh, that is on another level. Oh, no, that is very different. Only you're not doing that, no.
Because they're to other people, but they're mean to themselves.
No.
Because the heart...
Oh, I know, dear, you're different.
We're talking when everything is
yeah. Oh, that is so different. Yeah, I'm sorry. If you're struggling with mental health, seek the doctor's help, okay? And talk to people. You know, it's not the end of the world. We'll pray for you. Anyway, your final words. Should we start with you, Eric?
Final words. Tiapo.
We are rounding it up. Yeah, I know. It's almost a crime. That's a police barbecue. Yeah.
I would just say that I'll start with the self-love thing.
Yeah.
I would just say that do love yourself, because it's really important. And then also be minded as well about your mental health. But at the same time, be considerate about the people that you have around you. In terms of attractiveness and all of that, I would say that in the generation that we are now, everybody, they are so, I would say, there's a word that doesn't come, it's like you can't really, you have to be careful about how you speak to people and what you tell them, because everybody is a bit
so sensitive,
very, very sensitive. So you need to know how to deal with people, know how to talk to them, and then that's it on my side.
Okay.
I would probably touch on identity. That's the most important thing for me. Obviously the topic was being attractive and restrain. If you know who you are, you know what you should do, and you know where you are going. So it's important for us to know, being comfortable in who you are, accept who you are, and love yourself as Christ loves you.
Absolutely.
So by doing so, you will be able to have self-control and be able to be attractive in the way that you won't offend anyone, because this is the way God wants you to be. So that's me.
Hey, the topic was so broad, and cause self-control aspect. Okay.
No problem.
Anyway, B, go on.
Yeah, I'd say, touching on being attractive, it's not just a physical or just emotional. It's all those three things: physical, mental, and emotional. When
Spiritual,
you put all of that
whatever.
together, I think everybody would know whatever is in here will come outside, and it would shine a lot. And when it comes to self-love, I think appreciating who you are and how God has made you, is not a bad thing. It becomes negative when it just turns into vanity, and that's all that it's about mainly. So that's what that.
Right, Med.
I want to say that God created us differently for a purpose. So whichever shape, manner that you came out, try to make sure that it doesn't tend to be a burden for you, because yourself being your own problem becomes, then that's the major mental issue we've been dealing with in this country a lot. Most people is what they see themselves to be. God created you, put you in a place for a reason. attract good things into your life and be attractive to the good people.
Amen.
Right. Ohima.
So first thing I'd say that there is such beauty in modesty. So do remember that, dress well, hold yourself to a high standard without being cocky about it, and know your boundaries, know even the people that you surround yourself with, because the people that you are around, that is what you tend to look up to or follow, So surround yourself with people that love doing things of God, and always make sure that whatever you do, whatever you say, whatever you look at, even, you're doing it because of the glory of God, so that, the way you are attractive to other people, you are also attractive to God.
Right. Okay. The Bible verse was, I say, finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent and praiseworthy, think about such things. Okay. So, and we say you become who you think, what you think. Okay. So you become admirable, you become excellent, you become praiseworthy, you become all of the things I've read when you think about these things. So don't be put in a box, this attractive box, and then you are doing and saying things that is not so attractive in the eyes of God. Okay, so yeah, we didn't touch on that self-restraint bit. I think that maybe another time we're going to talk about it. But thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for
I
having
have
us.
learned so much.
That's great.
You guys opened my brains up so much. I'm consuming so much knowledge from you. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. Until we see you again, same time next week. It's been Hour of Inspiration. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Pong.